Yeah, good morning and good evening, everyone. So welcome back. So we have been discussing Terraform and completed all the infrastructure through Terraform with the strict security groups and then auto scaling and everything. So our application is already high available. So now we have to take care of the CI process. Still now we do we have completed the deployment process. Now we need to take care of the continuous integration process. Continuous integration uh, is nothing but on daily basis. We may have many developers. We need to build continuously at least once a day, scan it properly, and then get the package, push it to the artifact like Nexus or S3, whatever. Okay, so if you see the definition also, what is continuous integration? Continuous integration is a DevOps software development practice where developers regularly merge their code changes into central repository, after which automated builds and tests run. Continuous integration must often release to the build or integration stage of the software release. So the summary of this is, so daily our developers are pushing the code to the GitHub. We need to merge it properly in a central repository like GitHub or Bitbucket, GitLab, whatever it is. And we need to trigger the builds continuously so that can do some building, scanning, some testing, whatever the possible stages we can include, we can do it into the continuous integration stage. Okay. So you can check this. In the past, developers on a team might work in isolation for an extended period of time and only match their changes to the master branch once their work was completed. So yesterday we discussed, right, on the last day, we were able to, on last day, we are trying to merge the code and then trying to build. So that will give us obviously errors that will take again some extra time on a day or some nightmares to resolve all those build errors. Okay. You can see this, the exact thing, whatever we discussed. So you can use any CI continuous integration tool. So Jenkins is a popular. You can use Bitbucket or GitLab, GitHub Actions, whatever, but that will give us the same results. Okay, so we will discuss Git also, how to merge the code, how to rebase a lot of Git concepts, and then we can complete the continuous integration as well. So first we need our Jenkins. So we selected Jenkins as a our CI, excuse me, our CI tool. Okay, so we need to install Jenkins first. Okay. So taking one instance, and it has Jenkins, and take our AMI DevOps practice. So it is somewhat big software. So we need to take something like T2.small or T2.medium. So I'm taking T2.medium or T3.medium. So while you are practicing, first go with the T2.small. Okay, if that is not sufficient, then you can go for medium. So this is into the default VPC. Okay, right now selecting all security group. Just selecting 30 GB. Okay, that's it, into the default VPC, allow all security group. So this is our Linux server. Inside this, we need to install our Jenkins. Okay. So Jenkins is like a standalone web application. So just like our RoboShop, excuse me, just like our RoboShop, it's a web application. Jenkins is also a web application. It has front type UI, it has backend, and then it has storage or DB. So this DB here, nothing but file system. Okay. So DB may not be all the time RDBMS or MongoDB or whatever. It can store the data into the flat files. Okay. So in our laptop, we have local disk C, D. These are all called all. These are all you can consider as database also, because wherever you store some data, that is called database. So here our Jenkins is using local file system as database. It has UI, it has backend, it has DB. That's it. Nothing much. It's a simple CI software we need to install. Just go for Jenkins. Here you can see there is a download option. Here we can have Red Hat. So Red Hat is nothing but our CentOS 8. So we can follow these steps to install Jenkins in our machine. So this is our Jenkins, connecting to it. Just follow these instructions, very simple. Adding the Jenkins repo. And then adding this key. So Jenkins is developed on Java. So we need to have Java installed. Okay. And then I'm install Jenkins. That's it. So mostly all DevOps tools are developed on using Java language. So you need to have Java environment to run them. Okay, that's it. And then let's go for Java. So for Jenkins installation. Okay, sudo systemctl start Jenkins. Systemctl status Jenkins. It is running. So Jenkins opens port number 8080. Okay, so just enabling it. Okay, this opens port number 8080, just like an application. Okay, so once it is started, it is asking just to give some secret. Okay, cat enter. So we need to have sudo access. You enter the secret. Continue. So install suggested plugins. As I said, Jenkins, the real power of Jenkins is in plugins. Without plugins, Jenkins is just like a web application, like our RoboShop. Okay. So we need to install the plugins to get the real integration of with other tools. Okay. I'm just clicking on install suggested plugins. So now it is installing few plugins, that is folders, Git, pipeline, something. Everything is a pipeline in Jenkins. Okay. So everything is a plugin in Jenkins. Yeah. Okay, this is done. You can set up your username and password. Admin 123 admin, something like this. Okay, save and continue. So this is automatically taking our public IP address. Save and finish. Okay, start using Jenkins. So this is the Jenkins homepage and landing page. So we call it as job generally. Okay, job is nothing but you're telling Jenkins to do something. So we are calling it as job. So create new item. Okay, so here I will just take it as hello Jenkins, something like this. Freestyle project and okay. So this is to test Jenkins freestyle job. So let's go and then here build steps, execute shell script. I'm just running it as echo hello Jenkins. Apply and then save. And then you can click on build now. Okay, so this is the first time it ran. Now you can open this console output and here you can see what is the output. So the job is success. What you ask Jenkins to do is just to print hello Jenkins. So it prints the hello Jenkins and then it is success. So that's what we asked for. So Jenkins completed it. So this is called as a freestyle job. Freestyle job is nothing but everything doing it in the UI. So like why we are using Terraform? Why we are using Terraform? So Terraform is infrastructure as a code. If you create the infrastructure in the AWS console, anybody can change it, so that we cannot understand who changed it, and it is very difficult to trace what was changed, and it is very difficult to restore everything. So doing the work in the console or in the UI is not at all recommended, not only in DevOps, everywhere, in any technology. So doing something or configuring something on the UI is not at all recommended, because it has lot of disadvantages. Okay, we cannot restore, we cannot trace. So there are a lot of disadvantages. So every technology is recommending to do it in an automation way. So that's why scripting is popular. Not only Shell, Ansible, any technology you take it, like PLSQL. If you are learning SQL, PLSQL is mandatory, and then Linux administrator, if you are doing, then shell scripting is mandatory. So everywhere scripting is mandatory to do the automations. We are not supposed to create the configuration in the UI. So this is a freestyle job. You are writing something here. So obviously tomorrow someone may come here and then they can change it. Okay, then the Jenkins, it will take some time for us to trace. This is a simple job, just printing something. So it is easy to trace. But if it is a big job like application deployment, infrastructure deployment through Jenkins, so then it is very difficult to understand who changed it what. So obviously freestyle is not a recommended way. This is a old practice. So everybody has implemented pipelines. Okay. So this is freestyle job. So either it is freestyle or pipeline job. So okay, we have two types of jobs: freestyle and pipeline. Freestyle is nothing but doing everything in UI. So we have disadvantages. Can't restore easily if something goes wrong. Cannot trace who did the changes, and no version control. Okay. So if I ask you to give me the freestyle job, what 5 days back, what was the freestyle job 5 days back, then it is not possible. But pipeline is something similarly like we can keep it in Git, you can version control, you can restore, you can review the changes. Okay, so there are a lot of disadvantages with freestyle. So we are moving to the pipeline. Okay, being it's a pipeline or freestyle, so this environment is same. So we call it as build generally. So Jenkins is doing something for us that is called job. So inside the job, we call it as build. Okay, what are the build steps? What are you building? What are you doing with Jenkins? That is called build. Okay, so we can keep it like this. So now let us discuss a simple story. Like you are a farmer. Okay, you have to do some agriculture. So you have like 0.25 acres of land, very small land. Okay, so very small land. You can do everything on your own. Okay, you can bring the seeds, you can sow it, you can plow the land. Okay, you can get the pad, you can do everything on your own because it's a small land. But if you are handling 100 acres of land, can you do everything on your own? So you have to definitely take some employees. Okay, take some employees. So you cannot do anything now. Okay, your work is manage employees, overview the work. Okay. So this is your work. If it is a simple thing, you can do everything on your own. If it is a big land, you cannot take care of on your own. You need to take the tools help. You need to take the employees help. You need lot of help. Okay. On your responsibility now is becoming managing them and overviewing the work, distribution of work. You need to check what we have to do tomorrow and whom we can employ on the land. So this is your concentration now. But if it is a small land, you have to do everything. Similarly here, so Jenkins, if it is a small project, okay, you can do everything on the single server, Jenkins server. If it is a very big project, consider this RoboShop as Amazon. You cannot do everything on the single Jenkins server because there are a lot of teams, cart, catalog, user, they are continuously pushing the builds. So one single server cannot handle everything. So that is why we got here as something like master slave architecture. Okay. So now we are not calling this as master slave. We removed this word slave word from the generally it is removed everywhere in the world. So it is now called as master agent or master node architecture. Since one Jenkins server cannot handle everything at a single point of failure, and we have other advantages also, we will discuss that. So one server cannot handle all the load, it may hang. So that is why we are going to have master agent architecture. Okay. So now how it will become is, so now this is a Jenkins master, and we can have multiple slaves, multiple agents, any number of agents. Okay. So these are all like agents. Now Jenkins responsibility is whenever it gets some work to do, some build, some job, it needs to distribute this to these agents. Okay. And users also can select on what agent their build should run or their job should run, because one single Jenkins server cannot handle everything. So now Jenkins master responsibility is to distribute the jobs to the multiple agents and then to overview that job. Okay. So now what can we do here? We can create another agent. Just like one person is going and then searching for the employees for the farming related work, and he will pay something and then he will get them onto the land to do something. So similarly here, so there is a person agent, and now DevOps practice. Okay. And then instance, I'm taking it as t2.small. Proceed without key pair and just making it as 30. This is the security group, allowing all for now, and launch instance. Okay, now there is a person called agent and we have Jenkins master. You need to connect these two. Okay, so Jenkins should know where is the agent and how to connect and then how to distribute. So let us do that here. So in dashboard, okay, and here there is manage Jenkins, and here you can see nodes. So it will list down all the nodes it has. Okay, click on new node. You can name it. For now, I'm naming it as agent 1. Okay, I'm naming it as agent 1. You can name it anything. Okay, permanent, and then at the time how many jobs the agent should run. Okay, you can give 1, 2, 3 based on the resource capacity. For now I am giving 3. So at a time our agent, this agent can run 3 jobs parallelly. Okay, so that's what I am giving. And where should it keep the data related to the bills or jobs? You can give something like this home CentOS. We already have this repository, so we already have this path, and you can give some label. I'm just giving it as agent 1 again. So this is the label. Just like just like tag. Okay, usage, you can just keep this as use this node as much as possible. There are two methods: launch agent by connecting to the controller, launch agents via SSH. So here, there are two options for this here. So employee can ask master for work. This is one method. And when there is a work, master can ask agent or employee to do. Okay. So here, employee is connecting to master. Here, employee is, sorry, here master is connecting to employee. I'm selecting the second option. Okay. Launch agents via SSH. So now here what will happen? Our Jenkins server will connect to the agent through SSH protocol, just like Ansible. Okay. So what is the IP address? Obviously, we need to give the IP address. You can take the private IP since it's in the same network, and then credentials. So credentials, let us add. You can select Jenkins. So your CentOS and then DevOps 321, and I can say SSH authentication, and add. Okay, now you can select this credentials. Host key verification strategy. We don't want any verification. You know this, right? Whenever we use SSH CentOS at the rate IP address, there is something host key verification. It will ask for us. It will ask yes from us. I don't want any verification. I know this agent. Okay, that's it. Save. So now this agent will try connecting to this one. You can check the logs here, agent one, and you can see this agent is offline because Jenkins failed to launch agent process on it. Now see log for more details. What is it saying? Java not found on the agent. Still they are using slave computer. The name slave is anyhow prohibited, but it's fine. So coding. So it is asking install Java 8 or Java 11 on the agent. So as we discussed, Jenkins is developed on Java. So we need to have Java installed. So I'm connecting to the agent. And I need to install Java here. Okay, so we have this Java. And then just like this is same as our manager has multiple teams like a front end team, back end team, database team. So if he gets something related to front end work, he will distribute the work to front end team. If he gets something related to the database work, he will distribute it to the database team. So our manager is our master. We are his employees. Okay. So we can ask daily our manager for any work, or our manager can actively distribute the work. But we should have connection, right? All the time we should have connection. Our manager should have our email ID. Our manager should know our mobile number. So everything. So like that, we are establishing a connection between master and agent. Okay, now this is done. You can go and nodes agent and launch agent this time. Now agent successfully connected and online. Okay, so now master and agents are able to connect. So now you can give the work to agent. Suppose now I am saying hello agent. Okay, again freestyle job for now, and okay. So here there is an option, restrict where this project can run. So you can select which agent you want to run it. Okay, now I'm going to give agent one. So I'm asking Jenkins to run this job on agent one. Okay, and you can just select execute shell. Okay, echo hello agent. I'm running this, and then go. So this is from master to agent. Just keeping this in master dot text. Okay, just to prove where this is running. Okay, and apply save. Build now. Okay, you can see this is success. Now you can go here and then this is the agent. You can check master dot text. Hello, this is from master to agent. Okay, so this is how master agent architecture is in Jenkins. Okay, this is agent. So this is master. So you can have any number of agents. Okay, so one agent is for Terraform related tasks, one agent is for Java related, one agent is for Node.js, one agent is for Python. You can have any number of agents based on the type of build you get. Just like based on the type of work our manager will get, he is trying to distribute to different teams. So based on the type of build our Jenkins is getting, so we can maintain multiple agents, because one agent cannot do everything, right? So here also you can just say one employee cannot do everything on 100 acres. So one employee is skilled in plowing, one employee is skilled in sowing the seeds. Okay, one employee is doing the paddy related work. So you can have multiple agents taking care of different kinds of builds. Okay, so we will see that anyhow. Yeah, so now what I do here is I will do something similar, some change or okay. So this is the freestyle job. What he planned yesterday. Jenkins installation, master slave setup, Jenkins freestyle, and now Jenkins pipeline. So you know the disadvantage of freestyle, just like creating something in the UI is not recommended. So I want something related to the pipeline. Okay, pipeline. Hello, pipeline. Now it's not freestyle, it is pipeline. Okay, click on OK. And then here. So there is an option you can check here, pipeline script. You can keep the pipeline script here, but if you keep the pipeline script here, again, the same problem. Okay, let us run anyhow first. Hello world. Okay, this is the syntax. Apply, save. Build now. You can see this is the stage, hello stage. Okay, hello world is printed. Now the problem of keeping the code pipeline script here again has the same problem. Anybody can come here and then they can to configure, click on configure, and they can change something. Hello world changed. So it's not safe to keep the Jenkins pipeline also in our UI. So it is always, they always recommend to keep it inside the any Git repository. Okay. So now let us see the Jenkins pipeline. So there is a documentation from Jenkins, okay, getting started with pipeline. Yeah, this is VRAN anyhow. Okay, now pipeline syntax. So we are using declarative pipeline. So there are two types of pipelines, declarative and then scripted pipeline. Okay. So declarative and scripted pipeline, there are two types of pipeline. Declarative is the latest version of latest feature of Jenkins, but earlier there was a scripted pipeline. So there is a simple change actually. That one I want to show you. It starts with something like node. Pipeline, this Jenkins pipeline. Yeah, declarative versus scripted pipeline. So almost same, syntax is 99% same, but a simple difference. Okay, in you can say are fundamentally different. Declarative is more recent feature of Jenkins pipeline, which provides some good syntax over scripted pipeline and more features. Okay, and writing also easier. So declarative, you know the meaning of declarative. Whatever you write, you will get it. Syntax will be very easy. That's it. Okay. So this is our pipeline syntax. So I want to keep this inside Git. So I want to create a Git repository. I'm just calling it as Jenkins practice. Okay. So here, so the name should be like this, Jenkins file. Okay, you can keep it any name, but yeah, let us now keeping it as Jenkins file. This is the simple syntax. It will start with pipeline and then ending. It has some section agent any, and then it has stages. So these are the stages. And inside that, there is a build stage, there is a test stage, there is a deploy stage. Okay, so this is the simple syntax of pipeline. This is a whole thing is pipeline, and this is stages. This is one stage, second stage, third stage. Okay, that's it. Generally, we recommend to give the name as Jenkins file JCaps. Okay, now I need to push this. CE Jenkins practice git init git branch -m master. To create the repository. That is Jenkins practice. I'll click create repository. Remote add origin. Okay, so we have our Jenkins file here. So this is the pipeline syntax. Now you come here and then create pipeline. I'm just giving new item. And then pipeline of just creating as Jenkins pipeline. Select pipeline. Okay. Now the pipeline script, it is not here. Pipeline script from SCM. SCM is nothing but source code management. Where is our source code? It is in Git. You need to give here the repository URL. What is the repository URL? This one. And we don't have any credentials. It's public. And then it is getting master branch. Okay, if you are using different branch, you can give different branch name like main, and then script path. Okay, where is your Jenkins pipeline script? It is in the root folder Jenkins file. If you have different name, you can always give the particular name here. apply, and then save. Now what Jenkins will do, let's click on build now. Okay, you asked Jenkins to check out that from the Git. So first thing it is checking is it is cloning your repository. Okay, and then you asked Jenkins to run Jenkins file. So obviously it is getting the Jenkins file and it is building, it is testing, it is deploying, and finally it is giving success. Okay, that's it. So this is the pipeline syntax, a simple pipeline syntax. Now we can see the different options here. Okay, so pipeline syntax. Now I want to run this. This is the pipeline declarative. This is pipeline, and we have multiple sections here. The first section we are seeing here, agent. Now, if you give agent any, what is happening here? Agent any, execute the pipeline or stage on available agent. So it is taking by default anything. Okay. So now what I want to do it is, I want to run this on our agent, like agent one. So now here we have an option. Now you can select your own agent. Okay. Which node, and this one. So now I'm selecting agent one. Okay. So it is your wish. You can select any agent. Okay. Agent one is selected. That's it. Now this job will run. You need to push it, obviously. Now this job will run on particularly agent one. Okay. Now build now. You can check here. Running on agent one. And you can see, so it is creating a directory called workspace, and inside that it is cloning your repository. Now we can go and check here in agent ls-l. It is giving workspace. So inside this, it has your Jenkins pipeline. And here you can check, you have all the code it has. Okay, whatever the code you have, it is downloading here. That's it. Okay. So any pipeline you run, it will get here. Okay. So since it has no code, there is nothing here. Okay. Now, so this is the selecting agent. And then what we have, post. So this is the post section. So your job may be success, your job may be failure, your job may have many stages like this. Okay, you can see you are saying always. Let me get that syntax and then can have it. Post conditions. Yeah, just check, taking like this. Okay. Now I am adding after stages. You can see when I click here, it is highlighting the end. After stages, I'm adding something called post. What are you saying to Jenkins? Once the job is done, okay, always run this. Okay. I will always run when the job is success or not. Okay, this is always. And we have some other sections like success, echo, I will run only when job is success. And there is something called failure. Echo, I will run when failure. So why we have these steps, post steps? Okay, once the job is completed, generally employee has to report to the manager, right? What happened, whether the job is the work is success or the work is failure, what happened. So you need to always report to the manager. Similarly, here there is a post section. If it is all this one will run always. Okay, whether the job is success or failure, this one will run. If it is success, we can inform some Slack colors, we can have some we can send some emails. If it is failure, also we can send some emails, the job is failure, something. So you can write those that code related to the steps you have to take. Okay. So that is this one, post section. Now push it, and then you can trigger this. Now you can check. I will always run whether the job is success or not. This is always, and I will only run when the job is success. For example, something is failure. I'm just writing something called error. So this is failed. Okay. So this will make the stage as failure. Now you push, and then you can click build now. So what happened? This is failed. So if this is failed, I will run when failure. So now this one will run. You can have some code to trigger some emails or to trigger some alerts, whatever you want. So this is the post section, and we have post, and we have stages. Stages is nothing but what are the stages you want to mention? You can like this. So inside stages, particular stage like build, particular stage like test, and inside that stage you have something called steps. Okay, so generally we can write our Linux commands here, something like this sh, can write like this. Okay, echo, it will directly work, but if it is something like as shell command, you can write here. Okay, right now I want to run, I want to understand what are the files, I want to understand what is the working directory. Now I am pushing it. Okay, let me remove this or comment. So this is the comment, 2 slashes. Now you run this. Okay, it will tell you. So where the job is exactly. Okay, it is inside this folder and it has, these are the files. Okay, so now, so instead of writing this like this sh, and you can always have sh, this one, 3 single quotes. And here you can write anything, ls-ltr, pwd, and then echo, hello, script. Okay, you can write something like this always. And click on build now. Okay, so you can check here. So this is running successfully. So these are about the stages. Okay, and what else we have? So now let us discuss something related to the Git webhook to Jenkins. So now what we have been discussing, whenever our developer pushes the code to the Git or Git, so our pipeline should automatically run. Okay, so that is through the webhook. So this is called events, right? So there is an event. So this is the developer. So our developer is pushing to Git. So we have GitHub. Now we are triggering the job manually in the Jenkins. But what we want is whenever developer push the code to GitHub, I want it to run automatically. Okay. I want our Jenkins to run automatically. Okay. So now this GitHub should send that event to the Jenkins. Okay. So GitHub, what it will say to Jenkins? Hey Jenkins, I got some push event. So I want you to run the job. Okay, so that's what GitHub has to inform. So how is this? This is called as webhook. So generally in any software technology, in technical term, this is called as webhook. Webhook is nothing but when system one received one event, it has to inform system two. Here system one is GitHub, system two is Jenkins. When GitHub is receiving some push to the repository, it has to inform Jenkins about that change, okay, about that event, so that Jenkins can take some action. So now let us configure this. So we have something called here settings, and in settings, your Bitbucket or your GitHub repo settings, and there is something called webhooks. Okay, you have to create add webhook, and then which URL you want to trigger. So if you just see GitHub Jenkins webhook, okay, so you have to go to your repository settings, and then in your webhook, you need to enter this URL, your Jenkins IP address / GitHub -webhook. So what is our Jenkins URL? This is our Jenkins URL. So you need to enter here like this / GitHub -webhook. Okay, so this is what you have to enter, so that when it receives some event, it can inform this URL. Okay, and here, which event you want to push, select JSON. Okay, which event you want to push, you can select any number of events. Okay, you can see if a branch is created, and then you have many options. So I'm selecting the git push event. Okay, so you have many options. I'm selecting one of the event and then add webhook. Okay, if you click this, there will be something called recent deliveries. So first time it delivered, so it is able to successfully contact. Okay, so it sent this post event, and it sent this one huge information, and the response is 200 success. So it means your GitHub is able to call our Jenkins. Okay, so now here you need to do some configure, and there is an option triggers. So when you want to trigger this job, one option we know, you can trigger anytime. You can click build now option. You can trigger anytime you want. So that is one trigger. Or else here, I want this to be triggered automatically, GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling. Okay, so I am selecting this one, GitHub hook trigger. You can just read this. Okay, when Jenkins receives a GitHub push, okay, when Jenkins receives this event from GitHub, GitHub plugin checks to see whether the hook came from Git repository, which matches the Git repository defined in SCM section. So whenever it receives a event from GitHub, you can check here. So in the request, it is always sending, you can see, it is always sending the URL. Somehow this URL is sent everywhere. You can see this HTML URL is sent. If this one matches, you are configured this one. If this one matches this one, so then Jenkins will automatically trigger this pipeline. So that's what it means. You can no need to do anything, just selecting this option, apply and save. Okay, so now what I do, I will do some change here. And then let us see the GitHub is able to call Jenkins or not. Webhooks. These are the recent calls. Now I will edit something. You can do any editing. Echo hello from GitHub push webhook event. Okay, so I'm just editing something. You can do anything, any change, and then pushing it. Now you can check here. There will be another delivery. Okay, and here you can go to, you can see automatically it triggered. Hello from GitHub push webhook event. So this is how you will generally we configure our deployment, or integration or deployment pipelines. Whenever developer is pushing the code end of the day to the GitHub, so we will automatically build it and then we will see what happened. Yeah, so this is about GitHub to Jenkins. Okay. So now we will take 5 minutes break and then we'll start again at 8-9. Okay. Yeah, so this is how we can have webhooks. Now let us do one thing. So let us call our Terraform. Okay, let us configure our Terraform to create the infrastructure through Jenkins pipeline. Okay, so what I do is I'll create one item. So that is RoboShop Terraform pipeline. Okay. So now what you have to do. So you need to obviously have Jenkins file. Okay. For example, in our 01 VPC here, I'm creating Jenkins file. Okay. So I'm copying the syntax of this one. Okay, I want to run this on agent 1. So if it is running on agent 1, so here what I do is init. This is the init stage. Okay, steps. Here I can call sh single apostrophe, and then here I can call Terraform init. Okay, and another stage is plan. Okay, here it is Terraform plan. So this I don't want. Right now, init and plan, Terraform init and then Terraform plan. So you are asking your agent to do Terraform init and plan. So should this agent have Terraform software installed or not? So I'm asking one person like a front-end developer to do a React.js kind of work. So he should obviously have the React.js skill. So similarly, when you're asking agent to do some Terraform related work, you obviously need to install. Okay, so I need to install Terraform install, and can take this one here. Installing Terraform Linux CentOS, and this is the one. Install yum utils and add Terraform repo, HashiCorp repo, and then install Terraform. And that's it, very simple in Linux. Now you can check it, Terraform version. Okay. So it is Terraform already installed. So now we can run this job. First, I need to push it. CD RoboShop infra standard. Okay. So push it. Now go to our repository. Copy the URL and configure in Jenkins. Okay, let us trigger this manually. Okay, you have multiple options. You can periodically run this. You can poll SCM instead of Git sending the event to the Jenkins pipeline. You can continuously ask GitHub whether there is an update or not. That is okay. And pipeline from SCM Git, and this is our RoboShop infra standard and master, and it is on, the script is on 01 VPC 01 VPC / Jenkins file. Okay. So let me run. Where is this? ls-ltr and pwd. The same thing here also I will run. Okay, first let us understand where is it. So obviously we get errors. So let us check the errors. So your Jenkins file should always be with your code. Either it's our application code or your infrastructure code, whatever it is. Okay, it should be always with our code. Okay, that's it. Now apply and then save. Let us build it. Okay, it got something. So it is into the our workspace directory. So that is nothing but this one. And it is doing Terraform init. Terraform init in this directory, we have to move to 01 VPC. There we have to run Terraform init. And then, yeah. So this is failure. Why is this failure? Because you are running directly in the root folder, but our Terraform files are in 01 VPC. So if it is a big project, generally, how is our project structure? So it is just like this one, VPC, something like this VPC. And here you will have main.tf. You will not have any subfolders. And then here you will have Jenkins file, right? If it's a very big project. So we are maintaining everything in a single folder. So what we have to do here is, obviously we need to move RoboShop infra standard Jenkins file. Here we need to move CD01 VPC. Okay, and here also we need to move. Okay, so then Terraform init. Now we will still get an error because we haven't configured our access key and then secret key. Okay, build now. Now the error is no credentials. Okay, because we haven't connected to our AWS. So we need to have something like AWS configure, right? So before that, I want to have some colors. You can see these are the colors, but we are not getting any colors. You can install a plugin, manage Jenkins. Inside plugins, there is something called available plugins. Okay, you can install extra plugins like ANSI color. So there is a plugin called ANSI color. Just install this. Okay, this will enable colors to our output. Okay, so here dashboard in our RoboShop Terraform configure, and there will be an option that is in pipeline syntax. There is something called options. Okay, here there is an options. Okay, after agent, I'm just keeping it as options. So unit, but just giving, let us remove this timeout later. Now I want to add ANSI color option Jenkins pipeline. Okay, so every plugin, they will give us this one. Okay, you can just give like this ANSI color external. So now it means you are selecting an options. So you are asking Jenkins to enable colors using this plugin. Okay, just push it. Now run again. Fail now. Now there will be colors. Okay, you can see there are colors. So error configuring S3 backend, no valid credentials. So you can configure in agent, AWS configure. So since it is in obviously in AWS environment, AWS command line is already installed. Okay, so now I'm just stopping the screen. I'll give the credentials and then I'll trigger it. So stopping for now. So I'm getting my credentials, that is in my users.aws directory. Entering the access key, entering the secret key, US East 1, and that's it. Okay, so I did AWS configure in the agent. Now you run again. Build now. Now you can see it is initializing the backend. that is success. Now it is running Terraform plan, stage plan. You can have another options also in this color, that is like not only each term, you can have another option like CSS. Okay, for now, let us go with this one. Now you can see it is saying success. Okay, so your Jenkins is able to connect with AWS and it is able to run something. It's able to run init and then plan. Okay. So now I want to apply this. How can I apply? So I want to check the plan and then I need to take the approval and then only I can go for approve. Okay, so we can have something Jenkins manually approval step pipeline. Okay, so I want to, what is the ideal way actually? You have to check the plan thoroughly. If everything is success, then only you have to approve. Okay, if everything is this like this, you have to approve. Otherwise, you need to, you should not approve. Okay, so we can have something like manual approval stage. So that will give us some button, stage approval. There will be some simple input. Yes, but we will not need actually. So I'm just taking this. Just taking this. And here I'm creating one stage. Apply. So inside stage, it should be something like steps. So it should be steps. So inside steps, you can have our code like this. Put. Shall I apply? Okay, and then just saving it as approve and apply. We have to give like Terraform apply auto approve. Okay, so if they say here go ahead, then this stage will be called. Otherwise, that will not be called. Okay, so we need to have some plugin. That plugin name is input plugin. Let us see we have that plugin or not. Dashboard, manage Jenkins, plugins, and available plugins. So there is something called as input. Okay, this one, install, and let us push. Now we will run ProboShop Terraform, build now. Okay, in stage is running. You can check the init related logs here. And planning is running. So go to output. Okay, now we can see here it is asking our permission. What we have to do, we have to check this plan properly. And if everything seems correct to us, then we can come back. And here there is another step, proceed. So if you click proceed, then this will go and apply. So there is something wrong here in apply. So what is it? No configuration fine. So we should move. Obviously, we should move. SH CD01 VPC. Build now again. So you can clearly see how much time it took. This init stage took 11 seconds. This planning stage is taking 39 seconds, and approval and apply. So you can clearly have a proper visualization of what is happening, where it is, where it gone wrong, where it went wrong. So everything you can check through this pipeline view. You can see stage view. Okay, now you are saying proceed. Again, something wrong here. Is it? So we don't know where is this. So what we'll do is inside these steps, I'll just check, or let me have one SH. I want to check where is it, PWT ls hyphen LTR, and then based on that, I will write it. I need to run again. So Terraform is checking out the code, and based on that Jenkins file, it is running. Okay, now I'm saying proceed. So we will see where it is. is in the PowerShop Terraform, but there is no 01 VPC. Yeah, it is there. And then let us go for Terraform apply auto approve. Okay, now click on build now. So we can stop till here. Okay, and then we can continue in tomorrow session, the remaining syntax, and then we can configure our actual project. So we have some other options left, that is input and some when condition. We'll see other options like tools, input already. This one parameters, and this one we will check it. And tools, when condition, and everything we will discuss, and we will configure our pipelines. Okay, let us see what is happening. Proceed. Okay, it is applying. So let us discuss few questions. Sangameshwar. Sangameshwar, you can unmute. Harahara Reddy. You can unmute. Harahara Reddy.
Yeah, nothing much.
Okay. Sangameshwar, any other questions? Yeah, okay. So you can work on these things, installing Jenkins, creating an agent, connecting those. Santosh?
Yeah, hello Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, Shiva, in worker node concept, suppose worker is suddenly down, how you notify that the master node means our job is executed or abroad manager.
Worker is down, obviously our job will not execute.
Okay, but one agent is down, means master is not take responsibility to execute the job.
So you can have something, can have an option here, right, in the agent. So you have options to give another labels. You can see, can give multiple. So then Jenkins will decide, and you can have this and or condition. Okay.
Yeah, job execution time only we give this condition.
So if the agent is not down, obviously master will not run it. Okay, it has to be run by the agent only. You can change the agent. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. Okay.
Questions? Any questions from anyone? So you can install Jenkins, you can create one agent, you can connect them, you can run some pipeline, you can try creating our RoboShop VPC or anything. And then tomorrow you can see other options of inputting. Yes, Varun Yadav.
Shiva, can we run jobs on master node also?
You can run jobs on master node also.
Okay. So
If you see an option here, there will be an option. Any or so there will be some option to run on master.
Okay, but it's not recommended, right? It's not recommended, yeah.
It's not recommended, yeah. Okay. So you can have some option to run on master. So there will be some option to run on master. Okay. But it's not recommended, right? It's not recommended, yeah. Okay. So Okay, so Abhilash. Abhilash. Ahmed.
Yeah, Ashna. So,
Hi.
you have mentioned that like some access key, right? That screenshot. So that is earlier which we created. That is the one or anything above you?
You can use anything.
So, like, what is the secret about it? Why we stop the screen? So that's the one.
Because you will see my access key and secret key.
It only for practice purpose we created, right?
You want to see my access key or secret key or what?
No, just asking.
Whether it is practice purpose, you can hack my AWS account, right? If you know that.
Okay, okay. So earlier we already created, right? So that is the same
You
one
can
or
use the
you
same, no
created it?
problem. You can use.
Okay.
See, that's your wish. You can use the same, or you can create new, whatever you want. Okay.
Yeah, during that time also you have created. You already showed us, right? So that is the thing.
I deleted immediately.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, Srinu.
Yeah, hi Shiva, good morning.
Yeah, hi. Good morning.
Yeah, this test, build and deploy modules is there now. We should have only need to mention as per our requirements, or it will be
As
by
per your requirement. Now I'm in it. Now I'm plan. Now approve. Now this is apply, right? So this is as per our requirement. If it is an application that will be built, package, scan, something like that.
okay. Okay, as our wish, we can modify it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Shiva. Got it.
Okay. So now I'm removing Terraform destroy from my workspace. I can run it directly because the state is in the S3 bucket. Any other questions? If no questions, can end the session. Okay. So have a nice day. See you in tomorrow's session. Bye-bye.